Nobody talks about this at all. Nobody talks about the progression of alcoholism because all we see is on TV, everything is romanticized. Addiction, alcoholism is just romanticized. And it's like what you want to do. It's normalized. This is how you act. If you're happy, you take a drink. If you're sad, you take a drink. If you're pissed off, you have a drink. If you want to chill out, you have a drink. The progression of alcoholism is real. Starts out as fun, kind of slips into emotional sobriety, and then before long, for just about everybody, sooner or later, it'll slip into physical dependency. So is the first stage, I guess you could say, is the fun stage. You know, it's the part where you unwind with friends. Let's get together for drinks. You know, the football game is on. Let's start cracking the beers. Of course, I never drink beer, but I went straight for vodka. Well, the funny thing is when we get to the last stage, I mean, I would have gone through about 30 or 40 shots before the football game even started, but I'm jumping the gun here. So the fun stage, or, you know, you could just say the unwinding stage. You know, what do you do after a long day of work? You go home, I just need a drink, you know, just to unwind. Well, what happens is this fun stage is like this, of course, you know, and it's what everybody does. But what's happening below the surface is that your system, your body is developing a tolerance. And so eventually it's going to take more and more and more alcohol to get the same effect. And for those of you who've been drinking for a while, you know what I'm talking about. You know very well that you could take one shot of Jack Daniels and it would probably put you on the floor. And now you can drink, what, 4 or 5 drinks before you're feeling a little tipsy. That's what happened with me. It happens with everybody. So, but this fun stage, what this is dangerous because it's building a tolerance up in your system. So over time, moving into emotional dependency, over time, alcohol becomes more than just fun. It becomes a coping mechanism. Normal feelings like stress or boredom or loneliness or sadness almost seem unbearable without a drink. You know, that glass of wine or shot of whatever I'm drinking is not about celebrating anymore. It's about escape. And because of that, drinking it just feels like a solution when the whole time it's becoming the problem. Isn't that how it goes, though? I mean, we're told that. We're told that in movies and definitely commercials because they're paying, these big companies are paying for these commercials. But we're told that's how we act. We're supposed to act like that. But so we are relying on this inanimate object to make us feel better. And as a coping mechanism, to not feel these emotions that it's normal to have. I love talking about this last part, physical dependency, because I drank heavy for 25 years, if you've seen some other of my videos, but probably for the last 15, I was physically dependent on alcohol. So I was a maintenance drinker every day. So this is when your body demands alcohol in order to function. I remember the first time this happened with me, and I thought I was having a stroke. I didn't know what was happening, but I remember exactly what happened. I was in a movie theater, hadn't got to my seat yet. I was walking to my seat and I had a big Coke and I had a thing of movie theater nachos. And I'm carrying it to my seat, getting ready for the movie, and all of a sudden my hands start to shake violently. I almost spilled the nachos out on the floor. And I'm like, this is the first time this has ever happened, and I didn't know what was going on. Well, that was the first day that I later found out that was signs of chemical addiction, my physical chemical addiction. My body had to have alcohol in order to function. And so that really became my battle cry for the next 15 years. is that I knew that in order, because I was in the public, I have a business, still have it today. Imagine that. Didn't lose the business, but in order to meet my clients every day, I had to drink because I didn't want to be shaking around my clients. So the physical dependency, it just did. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. I was always a healthy guy until I wasn't. So, I wasn't a sickly man. And so I don't know, everybody's got a little different tolerance level so far as when their body's going to break down. But sooner or later it will, because alcohol, we all know it. It's poison. It will kill you eventually. So eventually your body's going to cry out for help, and it's going to do that. It's going to shut down eventually. The progression of alcoholism is real, but so is recovery. I'm a good example of somebody who's gone through all those stages, those 3 stages of alcoholism. But I found recovery. 2 years and 2 months and a couple 2 months and a couple weeks ago. 2 years, 2 months, 2 weeks, something like that. And it's been total abstinence. No pills, no pot, no booze, no beer, no wine, total abstinence. No pain pills, even though I'm in tons of pain every day. It's been totally absent. That is not a pat on my back. That is because I found recovery. I was a slave. I was a slave to alcohol. I could not function without it. So this is one more example, sit in front of you right now, that you can do it. I believe in recovery. Whether it's rehab, but I think rehab's not enough. Yeah, to me, it's got to be. I was the kind of drinker where it's a lifelong practice of recovery. So I believe it really falls on 3 different things. I'm going to do a ton of videos, and I'm going to go into there's a lot more depth in this, but I believe it comes down to 3 basic legs to a stool. Okay, spiritual. Got to have a spiritual life. A lot of people might fight that. We'll talk more about that. A plan, a proven plan, and the company you keep. That's the solution. So we can talk more about that. But tell me which phases, if you want. Give me a comment below and let me know what kind of stage you're in. Or are you just in the fun stage? Or most people jump right from that to the emotional stage pretty quick. But have you gotten to that physical dependency yet? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys and girls, and I'm on to the next one. Talk to you soon.